Welcome to the Start Smart, Stay Safe Family Board Game Bounce Overview. The aim of Start Smart, Stay Safe is to develop and enhance lifelong skills such as a strong understanding of belonging and being a responsible citizen, making good choices, respectful communication, and everyone having something to offer to build community. This approach helps children and their families to prepare for challenges in our changing world. Police, school, and families are partnering together to actively build positive relationships to support children and their families in creating safe communities. Bounce is a cooperative board game based on Start Smart, Stay Safe resources. In Bounce, each player takes on the role of a child facing day-to-day challenges. Each player is on the same team representing a community. In order to win or complete the game, players will have to work together as a team. This game is designed for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up. However, younger children wanting to play the game can partner up with an older buddy from another class or have an adult assist them with gameplay. Bounce is a collaborative game where players must work together to solve challenges. The game was designed to only be completed when players work together as a team. The game encourages discussion and learning, just as the other family connection activities are designed to do in S4, to help prepare children for challenges in our daily world. The game promotes discussion through problem solving and exploring areas such as the systems of individual and family supports, further developing critical and creative thinking skills, discussing healthy peer relationships and effective communication, examining, understanding, and respecting the strengths and diversity within groups, exploring and role-playing strategies for peaceful conflict resolution, and connecting with supports in the home and community, like police officers, school, parents, friends, community resources, and agencies. The S4 family board game, Bounce, has been built around the S4 framework and relates directly to the basic concepts of the S4 program, such as positive relationships, effective communication, building supports, and making healthy lifestyle choices. Let's briefly review the S4 cornerstones. Significance comes from a child's sense of belonging, feeling that one matters and that one is loved. Feeling significant goes beyond basic needs. It explores emotions and feelings, which are a significant part of growing up healthy and balanced. Significance is a child knowing that he or she is important, feeling that one is in the right place, and that one fits in. In order to create group balance, interactions with others should be made with care, empathy, and respect. As part of Start Smart, Stay Safe, we've defined success as being able to set goals and achieve them. The how-to, or the process along the way, is very important. This is where opportunities for learning, growing, and improving are present. Success is about achieving personal, family, or community goals rather than being better or superior to others. Self-awareness is about independence and being able to make choices that affect one's own life. Giving children the power to make decisions appropriate for the developmental stage will help children to learn self-discipline and acquire the confidence to make healthy choices. Service is one of the cornerstones within the framework, linked with generosity, doing things for others, and that knowing that someone has something to offer one's family, friends, and community in general. Service is about knowing that you can be helpful and contribute with what you have to offer. The title of the board game supports the foundational Me plus Help equals Bounce activity in Start Smart, Stay Safe, which invites students to discover their personal source of resilience. It is important for students to understand that the term bounce does not imply that there is a deficit or something wrong. Rather, it can be viewed as unlimited potential. As part of S4, students come to recognize that we need challenges and problems in our lives in order to grow. Without the opportunity to overcome challenges, there would be no opportunity for growth. Students come to understand resiliency as resulting from a combination of their individual characteristics and efforts, the me, combined with the supports available to them to move forward and face new challenges, the help, learning and building new resilient skills along the way, the bounce. Throughout the game, through discussion and script building, children build the skills that they will continue to build resilience as they face challenges throughout day-to-day life. Children bounce in the game when they face challenges and then attempt to resolve them. The Bounce S4 family board game was designed for many people to play. The game is a great tool for schools and teachers in the classroom, and teachers and students can play the game in class to promote learning and discussion. Students can also play the game and then teach other students in buddy classes how to play as well. Children can also play the game with their families, and if your school decides, might borrow the game as part of your school's lending library to play at home. Your school might also consider offering a family resource or game night, where families could come together in a fun environment and play the game together, while promoting skill development and community building all at the same time. Research shows that there are many benefits to board game play as a family. Family resiliency requires that families live, work, and play together as a unit, as a team. A board game encourages families to unplug and sit together around the table, discussing, playing, laughing, and making decisions together. A key component of family resiliency is building relationships and communication together, face to face. The S4 Family Board Game will provide opportunities for families to build crucial aspects of their family resiliency. Board games have been around for generations and have long brought groups of family and friends together. The advent of the internet has spawned a proliferation of online games where players can connect with each other around the world, but seldom, if ever, in the same room. As a response and reaction to the often isolating nature of online games, a movement known as Eurogaming has been born. Eurogaming can be described as playing tabletop games that generally have simple rules and short to medium playing times. The game emphasizes strategy, play down luck, and conflict, and usually keeps all the players in the game until it ends. Eurogames are sometimes contrasted with American-style games, which generally involve more luck, conflict, and drama. Eurogames generally require more thought and planning than party games, and appeal to a wide range of ages, including casual gamers who play with family and friends, as well as more serious hobby gamers. Board games increase attention, listening, and concentration skills. Whether children are moving markers on a board, reading the rules, or deciding what their responses will be to a challenge card, they are concentrating and thinking. As children hear the statements read by other players, they are improving their listening skills. In a world where too many children spend passive time in front of overstimulating and noisy television or computer screens, active thinking, listening, and concentration are premium proficiencies to master. When you consider the extensive diagnosis and perhaps overdiagnosis of attention deficit disorders, developing attention skills becomes even more critical. Board games enhance vocabulary. Board games can help children learn and extend current vocabulary. Children certainly don't feel like they're studying or memorizing words, that when they're playing board games, they are learning new words painlessly, spontaneously, and meaningfully. Their vocabulary stretches playfully instead of by tutoring. Board games also encourage higher-level thinking skills. Creative thinking is a big part of the game Bounce. Considering multiple answers in the situational discussion cards help prepare children for challenging situations that arise in day-to-day life. Board games teach good sportsmanship. There's probably nothing more difficult for children to learn than how to function well in a competitive world. Learning to love to win and cope graciously with losing go a long way towards coaching lifetime good sportsmanship. There's no need to cheat when it's all in good fun of a board game. Bounce provides an additional learning experience in that it is a collaborative game, therefore players are actually playing all in the same team. Now, let's go through the setup of your Start Smart Stay Safe family game. It comes with many components, such as a game board, with 4 challenge road pathways for multiple players in a game. Players can partner up so that multiple players can share a pathway on the board, so that more than 4 people can play the game at a time. Your Bounce game also comes with strengths cards, which are placed in the center of the board. Time's Up tiles are placed at the end of the challenge road pathways for each player, 2 sets of challenge cards, the blue and green cards for basic or beginner play, and the other set of blue and red cards for more experienced players, as well as wooden markers for challenge clock spaces, and Super Friend cards that can be played and earned when a positive choice during the game has been made while players are playing. We'll hear a little bit more about that later. You'll notice 4 challenge road pathways on the board game. In each of the corners on the board, you'll see the S4 cornerstones built into the Super Friend spaces. Each corner represents the types of supports a child might have in his or her life, like teacher, friend, family member, or maybe someone else working in the community. Super Friend cards are earned during gameplay by answering challenge card discussion questions found on the back of each challenge card. The board itself is placed and labeled for placement. The board itself is labeled for placement of cards and game pieces. Refer to your rulebook for exact placement and pictures of these items. We'll show you a picture of this in the next slide. Use the following diagram found on page 2 of your rulebook to set the game up before gameplay starts. Number 1, place the game board in the middle of the table. Number 2. Players each sit so that they are at the end of a challenge road on the board. Number 3. Take the challenge cards and shuffle them. Then place them, blue side up, onto the space marked challenges on the game board. Number 4. Take the strengths cards and shuffle them. Place them face down over the S4 framework in the center of the board. You'll notice some of these have a negative emotion icon shown on the back. We'll review this in a little bit. Number 5. Separate the Super Friend cards into colors and place them as shown on the game board. Number 6. Place a Time's Up tile at the bottom level of each player's challenge road. Number 7. Each player is dealt a challenge card which is placed on the challenge start space on the challenge road. Number 8. Now deal each player a strength card. This is added to each player's hand. Number 9. Take one of the unpainted wooden markers and place it onto the start clock, and place the other marker on the 0 space on the ossometer. First, before you start the game, your team must decide how awesome you are by agreeing on how many stars you think you can get on the ossometer. Once everyone has agreed, place the green wooden marker on that star space on the ossometer. Remember, to complete the game, your team, as a group, must gain enough stars to move your unpainted wooden marker up to the same level as the green wooden marker. The game can now begin. To win the game, or complete the game, your team must gain enough stars to reach the awesomeness level you've set. Your team will gain stars by completing challenge cards. To complete challenge cards, you will use the strength cards from your hand to match the symbols found on your challenge card. Once you have all the matching cards in your hand, you complete your challenge. Other players can help you with the challenges by sharing their strengths cards with you. When a challenge card is completed, the whole team receives points based on where the card is placed on your challenge road. You'll notice little stars with numbers beside the road, and those are the points you'll earn as you complete your challenge. Throughout the game, your challenge cards might move up or down the challenge road, based on what happens in your turn. For an easy way to start, the youngest player is the first to play, and players take turns in clockwise order. On each turn, a player can choose one of 2 options, and if you forget what these rules are, they are painted on the sides of the board so you can take a look back and reference what to do on your turn. Either option 1, draw a card from the strength deck from the middle of the board and add it to your hand. Remember, if you reveal a stress, fear, or frustration card, a strength card with an emotion face on the front, every other player must immediately move their challenge 1 level down on the challenge road. Or, option 2, ask for help, and all of the other players can give you any one of the strength cards they want from their hand. If a player gives you 1 or more cards, she or he moves their challenge up 1 level back on the challenge road as a bonus to helping out a fellow player. Then, on your turn, you must either complete your challenge if you have the required strength cards in your hand matching the ones on your challenge card, or move your challenge card down 1 level on your challenge road. Your turn is now over. As mentioned earlier, when a player is able to help another player, he or she gains a bonus as a reward for their service-focused behavior. Moving a card back up on the challenge road also allows that player more time to complete his challenge before time runs out. The key component of the game is to remember that players are all on the same team. For some players, at first, giving up cards might be difficult, but as gameplay continues, the team learns that they are all on the same team, so sharing their cards is of benefit to everyone. If you decide to choose a strength card from the middle of the deck on your turn, and you reveal a stress, fear, or frustration card, every other player must immediately move their challenge down on the challenge road, as indicated by the arrows on the game board and mentioned earlier. Every time you move your challenge card down farther on the challenge road, the less time you have to complete your challenge card, and the less points you might earn after you complete your challenge. All of the strength cards have a strength symbol on the top left corner that represents one of the 4 S4 cornerstones. Police officers' cards have a badge symbol, which can be used as any strength symbol, considered a wild card. Use this as any of the 4 cornerstones that you need to complete your challenge. If at any time you are supposed to move your challenge card down, but are unable to because you've reached the Time's Up tile, you have run out of time as outlined in Picture 1. Move the unpainted wooden marker on the time track 1 level towards the Game Over space as indicated in Picture 2. The time track marker can be moved 3 times before the game is over and you run out of time. But fear not, if you don't complete your challenge the first time, because you're resilient and are building new skills, you have the ability to bounce back and move the challenge card onto your path back to the challenge start space at the top of your challenge road, as outlined in picture 3. You now have the opportunity to try to solve your challenge again. Just like when we build resilience, you have the opportunity to try to complete your challenge again and bounce back. And that's how we build greater resilience, trying and building new skills along the way. What happens when we run out of strength cards in the middle of the board? If the last card in the strength deck is drawn, shuffle the discarded strength cards and place them back in the center of the board game. Each player then moves their Time's Up tile 1 level up on the challenge road pathway, and this makes the game harder because you are given less chances or time to complete the challenge on your challenge path. The game can end in 2 ways. If you get enough stars from the completed challenges to reach the green disc on the osimeter, your team wins. Congratulations! If the marker on the clock track reaches the red Game Over space, the game ends immediately and your team does not successfully complete the game. But, because you're resilient, again, you can try to play the game and succeed next time by giving the game another try. For a bigger challenge, try the Expert Challenge cards to develop new skills and solutions to challenges. The Expert Challenge cards have a red background and are marked with an E. As part of the Start Smart, Stay Safe learning in schools, there are many terms used throughout the game that children may be learning about in school classroom lessons and police visits with teachers and their S4 school education officer. For those new to S4, key terms are listed in the back of the rulebook to review as needed. Anyone learning about S4 can go there to get a sense of the types of terms students are learning in schools. For adults participating in the board game with children, we have created a list of questions to use as a guide for discussion throughout the game. Questions that might provoke additional thoughts about scenarios in the game, or questions about how players might handle their challenges in real-life situations. These questions are printed inside the top of the game box for easy access. Have fun and play the game a couple times. Often we learn new rules that we missed the first time around, so every time we play the game we learn new things. That's another way we build resilience. Players may even come up with alternative rules to gameplay, and that's okay too. As long as all players in the game agree to those rules, play on and have fun. It's not a secret that families that play together grow together. Relationships tend to get stronger with constant interaction among parents and children, or caring adults and children. There are many games that teach us lots about life and practical lessons too, and that's a bonus. More and more, research shows us that there's more to play than meets the eye. For more information on the benefits of play in families, check out the Family Resources section on the S4 website. Happy board gaming!